Good morning, happy Friday. We made it through another week. And that alone is something to celebrate about. Happy Friday. I'm going to start my topic in 1 second. I wanted to give people enough time to come on in a live chat with us really quick. Thank you guys for your support. If you're new to my channel, welcome. This is the You Will Make It TV channel, where we share inspirational quotes, messages, and insightful topics, just like the one today, where we'll be kind of talking about the whole. I will. I say we because you're welcome to jump in the chat, state your comments. I'm gonna actually try to reverence some of the comments in the chat today, because all of us are seeing this from afar. All of us are seeing not only certain breakups, but this steady pattern of what's leading to these breakups when it comes to successful, I don't want to just say independent successful black women, because I did a topic on that before back in 2022, y'all. If you are interested, maybe I'll just share it. I'm gonna share it on this channel in my post section, okay, on my community tab, y'all. It was just a live I recorded in 2022, a video for YouTube titled "Are Independent Black Women Being Targeted?" Right? So here we are. We're speeding up to May 2025. Today's date marks May 16, 2025. By the way, this article I'm referencing to today, published by People, was released May 15, 2025. Okay. So I do feel like People is a pretty reliable source. That's up to y'all. But no matter what news thing you look at, that's just something that is being broadcasted right now, y'all. How it's a few things I want to touch on it about it. Not just about the news that Miss Holly Bailey allegedly has been being abused by her baby daddy, first baby daddy, and once love of her life, DDG, whose real name is Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr. Who knew that? Which one of y'all knew that? That's his real name, though. That's what DDG stands for. He is a junior. He allegedly abused her physically and emotionally. So, for those that were looking for the update or whatever, the update is Miss Bailey has been granted temporary custody, temporary full custody of young Halo, their son that they share together. And it is a temporary restraining order, to let y'all know. It just says the Twitch streamer, I quote, is to remain over 100 yards away from Bailey and Halo at all times. They apparently are, this is in effect until June 4th. They might go back and look at it then, but this is just really crazy. It hurt all of us. And y'all already know why. We don't like hearing about any woman that got to come out later and share these accusations and stuff like this. But with the proof, because y'all know it had Halle Bailey came out way back before Halo was born, because allegedly the abuse was going on before Halo, during the pregnancy, and also after. For those that are just now being filled in about what's going on with them, it's just like people are not used to that. People that stay silent about their situations until, I guess, like Miss Cassie Ventura in the P. Diddy case, or Miss Halle Bailey. I respect her so much at this time. Not because she, quote unquote, kept secrets and kept people out of her business, because I actually remember some people are like that. People swear that automatically means you're trying to hide the abuse or protect the abuser. Okay? First of all, if it's actually abuse, she was probably scared to say anything about it. Y'all do know that Halo is her very first child. Maybe her first son, but definitely her first child. Same with Krishan Rock. Now I'm going to try to do my reaction live videos solely based on my perception about it. And I want to keep them separate, because of course Krishan Rock's situation, Keisha Cole, with what she went through, what do I mean? First, I was trying to name some celebrities. Just, I can name like 7, 8 of them just in the past 2 years that were successful independent, gurus. I don't want to call them celebrities because a lot of these people, I do feel like, even without their entertainment breakthroughs are what pretty much put them on another level. But regardless of what business they choose to get into, a lot of these people I do still feel like would have relevant businesses outside of entertainment. So it's not just about people commenting, talking about she's the little Disney mermaid. How could he do that to her? You know what I mean? Whether she was that or not, whether she was in entertainment or not, she's some type of successful woman. Then I'll add black woman, just successful woman. Because I just wonder if her first baby had been by some older gentleman, a little more mature, or maybe had more experience, right, in the industry, had she been looking at these same circumstances, okay? But of course, at her age, that's about normal. You in your early 20s. I mean, at that age, most young ladies are dating young guys who are also inexperienced unless they come from a place where they have been experienced since children or something. I do think experienced celebrities should only, that's just my opinion. This is my reaction. Experienced celebrities should only date experienced celebrities, okay? Just like with Krishan Rock situation. She was experienced and maybe a little fame. Once again, what did I say? Entertainment industry is not the only place you can be recognized, ladies and gentlemen. So Krishan Rock probably wasn't that type of entertainer like the one she is now before, but she had kind of already been used to having even if it's in sports and athletics, fans in the stands. She was used to being cheered on. She was used to maybe having a little attention. I do believe that only experience, I'm just saying it one more time for the record, from my reaction, experienced celebrities should date experienced celebrities. And I don't even want to imagine what two inexperienced celebrities would look like together. I just say it wouldn't be a surprise if you see some dang it, I dropped my, that's never happened. Sorry y'all, I dropped my whole thing here. It fell off. That's messed up. Okay, but let me get back to it. What I was saying, I don't want to lose track. I just feel like experienced celebrities should only date experienced celebrities. People opinions probably like they should both be in the same financial bracket. They might work out better, but there have always been couples that one person might make more money than the other one. This is not new. We're just seeing the repercussions, the insecurities of people. It's just showing more because that's not new. One party in a relationship maybe having more fame, more notoriety, more money than the other party. Do y'all feel like this was one of those situations with DDG and Halle Bailey? Like, people already trying to say that, like, yeah, we feel like he was insecure. They were saying that when she was starring in The Little Mermaid around that time. They were saying he seemed a little jealous of her success then. That's all I'm speaking on. I'm thinking about that right now because people felt like they were seeing signs in the videos, the live, some of the pictures. Y'all know how they say pictures say 1,000 words? It's about time that people remember that quote. We live in the age of pictures and videos like never before. Right now. So I just say that quote rings bells more than it ever has. Like, a picture, a video does say 1,000 words. And this is what they were judging. They just said, he just always looked jealous, or he gave envy vibes or insecure vibes. What do y'all think about that? I don't know why they don't get with successful people and just feel confident. Like, what are you insecure about? That successful person is in love with you. What is there to be insecure about? That was my question with the Keke Palmer situation too. Like, what is it with all these women, these young women? I didn't say that they might be 100% inexperienced, but we know as mothers, a few of the ones I'm naming, they were. These are new mothers. Keke Palmer, Krishan Rock, The young lady I'm talking about today, Halle Bailey. They were just, you see them come into the industry, they're doing great, they're independent and successful by themselves. They get into a relationship. This is their first babies. They're still young, and then we're seeing these repetition stories of abuse. It's a few things I want to speak on though, because I already saw people saying, "Oh, you know, DDG finna lose a lot of fans and deals because this came out." But my natural reaction is, I just thought people were funny because y'all didn't. Chris Brown didn't lose no fans after what happened with him and Rihanna. He probably lost a few. I'm not saying he didn't lose no fans, but he it's pretty much, very relevant still. I said, why would people give that opinion about DDG? Is it just because he's like a new artist? They probably being funny a little bit too, but they was just like, nobody's gonna forgive him for this. Nobody's gonna want to support him and his entertainment anymore because they are hearing about what he did to the Disney mermaid star. Okay, I just thought that was crazy though. Like, we can't really call that or think that if there were other stars who've been through the same thing with young women via Chris Brown and Rihanna. And it hurt the fans at the time because when they was together, they probably had more fans than DDG and Halle Bailey put together. Rihanna and Chris Brown at the time. It was just like this, like a shock to the world when they heard. Forget hearing. It was just like this. There were just pictures suddenly circulating. That's how a lot of us found out about the Rihanna situation. It was just pictures. Like with her, even with sunglasses on, you can see the bruises. Shout out to Rihanna. You will make it. Halle Bailey from the You Will Make It TV channel. You will make it too. Making it is a process. Yes, they have already made it when you talk success and entertainment, but I'm talking about how one bad relationship has kind of interrupted the flow of a lot of people's success. Women. Straight up. Like one relationship. I wouldn't say like Cardi B's situation is like that. She's pretty much showing she look like she in the spirits is she finna keep working pretty much. It's just unfortunate that sometimes people's work is delayed, put on hold, stagnated. And women have to think about that because that is a risk you take once you begin to share your life with a whole nother being that had nothing to do with your success. It's just a risk. Anybody, you get in a relationship, it's a risk, especially at something like the peak or height of your career. That's the only place I say we have to take responsibility as young women. It ain't just like the old days, like, oh, I'm gonna just jump in a relationship. If you are a successful businesswoman, you gotta really, really, really be careful these days. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm putting it on mute real quick because I want to answer this question in the chat real quick. I saw that about the LGBTQ community. Okay, 1 second, guys. My phone is acting all kind of weird this morning. 1 second, y'all. Okay. It wouldn't even let me hit the mute button. I guess that means keep going. It's a sign from the universe. Don't mute it, keep going. Is the walk with patience shout out to you this morning. You will make it no matter what it is you're going through. I just want to inspire you today and let you know that. Kitchen Seek, Gabby Cheeseman, Roy Wright, good morning to you all, and you will make it. Happy Friday to everybody. Is the LGBTQ community good for the world? In my opinion, walk with patience. I say no, but I have my own reasons for that. When you say the community, I say no, because it, like with anything else, they just demonize everything. I didn't say I'm demonizing the LGBT community. I'm saying how a lot of communities today, they just have been. They've been compromised to me. They have other agendas surrounding them. They have other. They just somehow find a way to me. That's my personal opinion every day, to demonize any good thing we can have, including social media, the internet. I don't care what kind of community it is. It's like something's in the air and the water where somebody just has to try to compromise or make something look bad. I felt the same thing with the Black Lives Matter movement. Notice how suddenly all these different things were exposed at one time about the quote unquote leaders and founders of the Black Lives Matter movement. I didn't indulge too much in the news and rumors about it at the time because, first of all, me personally, I had never donated or did anything with them. I couldn't too much be a critic or be upset about anything I was hearing about the Black Lives Matter community organization because I personally hadn't like witnessed things that they did after maybe I contributed or things they might have been lying about. I did, like I said, I didn't indulge too much in it at that time. What was this in 2022, 23, maybe sooner, where it was just all this massive criticism against the Black Lives community organization. So the LGBT community is not the only one I feel like has been what came for came for, that's the proper term. No, there's been an LGBT community under, I don't want to say attack, I would say scrutiny. That's a better word. A lot of organizations lately just seem to be under scrutiny, whether they started the organization for, the greater good. And that's what any organization, like, we have to think about that. Remembering that mission statement, remembering what it was that led us to start it, or I wouldn't care if it's the Black Panthers, whatever. I just think over, even with gangs, right? The Crips and the Bloods, when we go back and look at the history of why, that keyword, WHY. Why is nobody teaching our youngsters no more or talking about it? Like, hey, sweetie, or hey, young man, this is the real story about why this or that organization was started. This was the intent of the organization, right? But like I said, it just seemed like once a community or organization gets started for so long, yeah, somebody gonna be right there lurking, trying to see where they can scrutinize it, demonize it, make it look like it's, a whole different reason of being started than what it was started for. Black Lives Matter included. That's all I'm saying about it. What do I feel about DDG abusing Halle Bailey? I am very it's like she is my little sister or something. For real. See, when you look at the ages of certain victims, you can easily relate to them, or maybe I'm just a natural empath, okay? Y'all know I am, though, too. I can easily, feel people pain. There's nothing nobody can change about that for me. There's nothing I can do about it. Trust me. If you're an empath, you're an empath. I promise. So you do kind of have to watch what you read, indulge in, what you surround yourself with. I didn't know that. I'm not going to play like I just knew that. It was life experiences that taught me personally. If you know that you easily feel what others feel and pick up on what they're going through, yeah, you got to be more guarding. You just constantly be an emotional whirlwind all day, every day, dealing with your emotions and what you might be feeling and what you're going through, plus the gift of being able to feel others. Yes, you would have to find balance in your life. But yeah, what I feel about it is like all the other fans, it's embarrassing. That's what I felt, like secondhand embarrassment when I read that story. I like to give my reactions raw. Like, what did I feel when I read that? This is not just news story or Halle Bailey's business anymore. This is history making. This is history making stories in the industry. You got world history, you got state history, you got history of all sorts, and then you have history of hip hop, history of jazz, history of pop culture, and then you got the history of hip hop, right? See, one day we will. I don't mean it in a negative way, but one day, yeah, DDG and Halle Bailey will be history. Kind of how we look at Rihanna and Chris Brown. And even further down the line, they'll be history. And what do we have to go back now and recollect about that situation? Whitney and Bobby. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. It's like history, guys. This stuff is not just news and then it go away. Like that's what, you're known for. Your spouse is known for, your children, everything they put about you in the media. That's my question. Is fame worth it when every up and every down is reported? Because I will speak on this on the behalf of celebrities. It has to be tough for everything about your life to be highlighted all the time. I'm sure somewhere, though we don't like to admit it, there are stresses and strains on a lot of couples in the industry because of that. Now, you don't have to be anybody for there to be strain on your relationship because you have outside influences. Y'all keep up with where I'm coming from. You don't have to be a superstar for there to be outside influences literally antagonizing, lurking. You know what I'm saying? They just own the job already from day one, the day y'all start dating. Some people tell themselves, yeah, I'm going to be the villain. That's the character they choose in the couple's book. That is very real, even if you're not a celebrity. There are just people. I'm not even talking about paparazzi yet, y'all, because, if you're a regular person like you and you're not used to paparazzi every day. I'm not talking about paparazzi. I'm talking about just simple influence, simple outside influence of any household, of any relationship. Now, though now people are preaching, yeah, keep your relationships private. Don't tell people stuff. Y'all know it wasn't always like that. Plus, there were people that's been living that way. They not finna change that. It's almost like people be testing people like, well, let's see how much we can do to a person to get them to change their reaction. Whether they expose a person and what they going through. Like a celebrity do not owe us that. They don't owe us what's going on in the secrecy of their home. I've been really appalled by the world lately. Because anything you slowly begin to normalize, people are going to find it normal. And it can actually be morally wrong the whole time. Okay, so that's just one of those things I find morally wrong. Just because they are celebrities or have a little fame, or he's with Halle Bailey, never gave us, I'm taking accountability for the people. Though I didn't do nothing. I was never one of those that stayed in Halle Bailey and DDG business like that. I'm just being real. Like, I might be a upcoming influencer or a upcoming journalist, but I just can't say theirs was one of those stories that I just, you know what I'm saying? Like every day I got to see what the update is or I want to follow it. No, I'm not like the other fans. I'm just saying I didn't see what they saw. I could just read into their opinions about it. I read into their opinions, the comments, where people was like, yeah, you could tell he gave insecure vibes at the beginning of their relationship. I was just saying, me personally, I didn't read into it that deep, so I had no reason to like. Outside of that, though, I've seen A Little Mermaid with my daughters. There's definitely some hits by Halle Bailey that we play on the regular. We listen to, if not on a daily basis, she's definitely in me and my personal daughter's playlist. Her and her sister music. So, anyways, like I said, whether you're an entertainer or not, it's wrong. It make you feel bad to hear any woman. If you don't have, unless you just don't have a heart or, stuff like that don't move you. You know what I'm saying? Just hearing a woman that put her career, she don't have to tell us, you are risking your career. I don't care, celebrity women. You are risking your career every time you risk it for a love connection like that. That's what it's starting to look like to me. I don't know why my notifications keep going off while I'm trying to do this. It's okay, y'all. If y'all hear it in the background, just disregard it for now. But yeah, I saw that too. Abstentious. I love your YouTube channel name. Y'all, am I the only one? I be looking at people's YouTube channel names and they make my day. Because I can't get as creative sometimes. Like, I mean, I do what I do under business names and DBAs and stuff, but just like usernames, even when you're gaming, it's just something. Maybe I got an eye for it because I'm a writer and stuff like that, but I've never been able to get creative with the names. Even when I get a pet, ain't no telling what we'll name it. uh, Even with my daughters, you think your whole life when you dream about having kids one day, you think you just know what you're gonna name them. And some people do stick to that. Shout out to Halo, by the way. It's one of the most beautiful names I have ever heard. What about y'all? Uh, but it seemed like when it was time to name them, you just have all these anxiety, like, oh my God, what am I gonna choose? And some people don't name their baby too after it's actually here, like after they're holding it and physically see the baby, because to them it's like that's how they name the baby. You know what I mean? It comes to them as they are physically around the baby, however that works. But yeah, and now the chip tooth thing, because I want to read a little more into that. I saw that it was like they had a physical. I think how she obtained that is what I'm trying to say. It was a physical kind of like back and forth between them. And I think he pulled her hair. That's what I read. He pulled her hair. Because, you know, if you got somebody kind of tugging it from the back, and I don't know how it happened, but she hit her, I think she hit her face against something. And that's how the tooth happened. Because we all know chipped tooth can happen all kind of ways. Or missing tooth. Look at Krishan Rock's situation. And I'm not even being funny. Y'all know of all people to talk about teeth right now. I can. Even knowing. That's one thing I would defend Krishan Rock about. No matter what people say about her too. We all know she got an implant a long time ago. Blueface paid for her to get their tooth fixed a long time ago. It be people opinions whether they keep their tooth the way it is or not. But I would, you know, people gonna comment on it when you got money. I could see if you somebody out here, because dental work is not cheap. I know people been saving for years to get their teeth fixed. So thank God. I just want to look at the pros, and you know, like I said, I'm speaking it over. She will make it. She can get it fixed. But thank God she got photos, and it could have been worse. Now, do he look like that type to y'all? Because people can say types have a look. I mean, some people believe that, old or young, they feel like you can see angelic presence on somebody, or you can see otherwise. You can see narcissism in somebody's face. What they say, the eyes is the gateway to the soul, right? Or some of us, we just wear our emotions on our face. What they say is written all over your face. Is this what they're trying to say about DDG? It was on his face the whole time? Yeah, that's what they said, y'all. But I just like to compare stories. I know they be different celebrities, but I'm like, so nobody saw anything on Offset face then with Cardi B. Are we just saying this about DDG because he's DDG, he's young, he was with Halle Bailey? Like, whew, I saw a lot on Offset face, especially after they lost one of the Migos. I just stay quiet. I haven't really did my podcast reviews lately like I used to do them way more frequently. So as we're slowly getting back into it, but yeah, I've been real quiet the past, 6 to 8 months, as you just continue to see more and more unfold in the media, including the continuing unraveling case of P. Diddy. I haven't been out here publicly giving my reactions like I'm known for it, but I haven't been out here doing it. That's all I'm saying. So, Offset, this is not about Offset and Cardi today. I do want to come and give my reaction about that situation too. But do y'all see Halle Bailey and DDG getting past this, maybe working out their differences and coming together for the baby in the future? Or is it too soon to say? You know me, I try to see the good in everything. I really do. I try to see where things can be rebuilt. It's like a natural reaction. That doesn't mean you like to see things crash down either. Just because you have the gift to immediately want to think into plans that help to rebuild or fix something after, it's just a good skill to have, because life does happen to each and every one of us, and it can happen at any time for each and every one of us, right? I did a short yesterday just inspiring people to stay humble. It can seem like, how is that inspiring? Because being humble, and that's the stigma the reputation of humbleness too, and I hate that they might feel like what Arthur TETASHERI being humble gets you in positions like Halle Bailey, and maybe she was too sweet. No, that's why I said people just need to be better matchmakers. I mean, she ain't got to change that she's sweet and angelic, and I'm not saying anybody's perfect. You just get with more of a mate that's compatible with that side of your personality. The truth is, people will take advantage of that. Try to. You being humble, humility, practicing that, being true to yourself, all those good characteristics, right? Yes, they can be. Remember how I just talked about certain characteristics being demonized, or organizations that actually were created for better reasons. I already spoke on that with gangs, GANGS. Maybe I'll come and do a live about it. My reaction to that too, and just cause maybe some of the young people haven't researched that yet. Y'all don't know, it's a whole new generation coming up right now. You got a classes of 2025 graduating right now who still have to learn and find their way in the world too. Why would we say that's not our responsibility? Even if you just come out and speak, write a book, however you teach the people a little bit or share a little bit of your knowledge. Because you do have young people that's just now finna start their life after this school season right now, like May and June and July. Come August, they are expected to live, what, independently? They 18 now, they done graduated high school. Some are going to college. Not every young person who graduates, just like in the class of 2025, is finna go to college. That's just a reminder, something for us to think about. Not all of them go to college. They might start a new career, or some of them, their families already have businesses. Now they just finna go into the business. I mean, different things. Some of them just move, start living their life because they're young. So you want to make sure they know certain things, right? Like, hey, I don't know how the rappers preach about it today, but hey, there was a history to the Crips and the Bloods and most gangs, but I'm just speaking on them two real quick because maybe they were founded, certain things were founded to actually do a whole separate, have a whole separate effect than it has on communities. That's all I was saying. Because maybe we got lazy in teaching that. So, one at a time. I don't mind being one of the young people, take accountability that, like, what we've witnessed over the years and stuff. I just want to know, as I'm getting older, are you giving that knowledge back? You think you just experience and go through what you go through for nothing? Sometimes you giving back is not you being a celebrity and throwing $1 million back to the hood. It's just the knowledge of through your experiences. People appreciate that as the fans. Of course, they probably can't wait to hear Halle Bailey come out next and give her reaction to everything, because they always do. I'm sorry, guys. Even when this happened to Rihanna, she's going to come out eventually. She might have a statement. It might take her some time. She might have a statement or what she wants to tell her fans. I mean, do y'all think they owe us that? Celebrities don't. DDG already came out. He went live like a reaction where he wants to speak to the fans and the people about what they were hearing suddenly out of nowhere. Because ain't life funny? You could just be hearing about something because it's public records and she done filed a restraining order, but that person was going through it that whole time. You got to be careful who you judge. Not saying people ever judged her negatively. You just didn't see that much, which, shout out to her. Some celebrities, they in trouble from day one since they got famous. Let's be honest about it. She carries herself well. A lot of people would like their young daughters to look up to her, not because she's the Disney mermaid. We just talking about how we just don't see her in the news for being in trouble or being quote unquote a hoe and stuff like that all the time. And that's very rare with some of these celebrities. So yeah, people is okay with their daughters being influenced by her and looking up to her, even if it has to be as a princess, right? Because this is the role she did play in one of her biggest gigs of her life. That's crazy. But out of all women, bro, y'all couldn't come to know better differences. Like, how did it turn into physical abuse between them? I'm sure over time, more and more is just like release and truths come out. But that truth just couldn't be denied. What y'all saying? She bruised herself. She chipped her own too. That's the only thing you can say to dispute that. Just like with that video of Cassie Ventura by the elevators with P. Diddy. There was nothing. Anybody today could just be like, yeah, P. Diddy didn't do this and that. It's just certain stuff as it gets exposed and released. You can't deny that. The person was clearly beating her up by the elevators. They like, yeah, but that don't mean he was doing this and that at sex parties. You see how people can use one thing they caught you doing to another and say, well, you must be guilty of these other 20 things, right? It just doesn't put yourself in a good position. Even if Diddy wanted to argue that, like, hey, just because y'all, because I ain't gonna lie, I was watching documentaries about it again last night, and even if he wanted to be like, oh, me beating her doesn't mean I drug people, because he has a point on that. There are so many domestic violence relationships and incidents that we don't even know about every day. I didn't even bring the statistics with me today to the live, but I can look it up real quick. I think it said every minute in the statistic is broken down from man, woman, and child. So every so often a child is being abused. Whether you pay attention to the statistics in news every day or not. Every day you wake up, statistics say there's a woman being abused somewhere in the world. Then statistics are broken down to geographical regions. That's what I love so much about statistics too. How they tell a story. They really do. Statistics tell a story every time. It'll say every day a child, and I promise it breaks it down, guys. It's gonna say every minute or every 5 seconds there's a child hungry, or this statistic or that statistic. Now, when it comes to the statistics of domestic violence like this, right, and children in the home, even if they have millions of dollars, yes, Arthur TETASHERI, audio host, said it. All the streams I'm seeing about this topic so far hasn't said that yet. Like, for real, it's not defending DDG. It's that these statistics have been, B-E-E-N, real. And then, how do we think statistics become real, guys? There are no statistics if there's nothing going on. That's all I was saying. And I think about it every day. So those that are trying to, like how she handled her situation, just stay quiet and quietly continue to move on with their life, they're heroes to me. I don't think they're trying to hide that they're a statistic. They're living evidence proof that statistics are real. Every time we see another story come out. That's where I do respect people who are become brave enough, courageous enough to share, things they've been through or how it made them feel, why they chose to walk away from it, stuff like that. Because it's always bigger. Domestic violence, yes, it does have to do with family life, right? Or people that are closely associated to you. So DDG, what people are saying, that wasn't just no random lady you were abusing. That wasn't just, yes, that's somebody else's family members. That's always the worst to me. Like, the ones be knowing you got a sister, you got family, you got people that love you. Narcissists don't care. I can't be the all-in-all judge and call DDG a narcissist, but I know I've read the definition of a narcissist. They do not care that you have other people that love you. If anything, that's something that they're upset about. I swear, and it leads to this every time. You can only hide that energy for so long. It's like trying to hide trash in a clean place when a narcissist and an empath are entertaining one another. Yeah. Some people get by hiding that condition or that infirmity, affliction that they might be dealing with. It's kind of like the LGBTQ thing. You got so many people still live in a closet. That's great that we're learning more people would like to come out about it and live their truth. But it doesn't change the fact statistics say you got a lot of people still in a closet. That's why it's a problem on many levels. The country just decided, hey, well, let's try to encourage people to come more out the closet. Obviously, they seen something too. We don't talk about that. Y'all think it's just a new era and suddenly they decided that we should be more welcoming to the LGBT community. I don't think that's all it is, though. Me personally, maybe they saw deeper things like, hey, it has been a long time and people have always had to live, uh, you know, and it leads to other things when you got to live a secret. You cannot compare and say, well, a secret life about this is bad, but a secret life about this is okay. I say that people do have a right to privacy. But it gets deeper when you're talking about like your sexual life and preferences. I do believe that's a different conversation when you talk about your privacy. Some people want people to know they're a stripper, some don't. Some people like people to know they're a pimp, some don't. What y'all mean? I mean, this is my opinion about it. Some people care that people know they're a private tutor, some don't. So no matter what the profession is, it's like, when they go public like that, I do feel for them. You're a celebrity now, so people are going to know the downs and ups of. I think more of them are learning, though. Fans ain't just in your business to speculate. Some of them probably really do care. Or like I said, put themselves in your shoes. How they must be feeling. But it shows us over and over again, y'all keep trying to tell people things they can do to elevate their life so they can just avoid abuse altogether. The truth is, and statistics shows us, it's like nobody just choose that. They wake up and they're kids and say, when I grow up, I want to have all kind of abuse stories. And if y'all know a person that said that, let me know in the chat or in the comments. That's how I be thinking deep about life. Like nobody wake up and say, my life gonna be like this. You can plan it as much as you can. Abuse is not one of those things people usually write in the plan, especially while they're in the middle of building success in their career. But it just is. That's what people like to do these days. Like when it comes to the narcissist valley of things, it's like, yeah, I want to flex my power in your finances. I want to flex my power in your career and what I feel like you love more than me. This is the mind of a narcissist. I want to sabotage, make you feel a little insecure about what it is I feel like you love more than me. Narcissism might not see it that way, but actually what I'm saying might help anybody heal. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like it's how you are perceiving the world at that point. You feel like somebody loves something more than you, so you're going to sabotage it. Because I don't know what DDG think that these type of situations do, whether it's her or the next woman. It's going to sabotage your career and possibly the other person's. That is so stupid. Now, of course, it probably sabotages the abusers because, but I be feeling like narcissists don't even care, It's funny how they care so much about their image while they're probably actually carrying out the act. How am I trying to put it? Yeah, they care about their image. People say that. They care about it while they're abusing them. That's why oftentimes the abuser looks crazy. Like, what abuser just walking around here looking like an abuser? It's time we talk about it. That's crazy. Yes, people can say, oh, we seen it in his eyes, or we seen it on his face. You could tell. You could feel it on DDG. That's crazy. I mean, so the woman he was with couldn't? So that's my point. Sometimes they can't, because who is going to approach a beautiful, successful woman looking like an abuser? Just, I'm going to put on abuser clothes today, and I'm going to wear my abuser attitude, and I'm going to flex my abuser power in the very beginning. It's very rare that we hear. If anything, it's more what they call it, the Romeo effect. It's funny to me, actually, like what is named certain things in psychology. They call it the Romeo pimp. Like people may know, not know, maybe some things are new to me, but there are like levels of pimping, and the Romeo pimp job specifically is to like romanticize you into a certain place, or should I say space. The Romeo pimp. I want to talk about that one specifically. Let me actually pull this up on Google. I'm not calling DDG a pimp. You know, it's all kind of ways people can look at what I'm trying to say. Uh, I'm typing it in right now. That's why I need moderators and stuff in the future, so y'all can help me. I'm very humble though. I know I have been through too many situations where I needed help, even when I didn't want to ask too. You know, I feel Holly Bailey on that side as well. Even with her just having one child, right? Like I've been at that point, just one. People look at you, see you with multiple kids, and act like you forgot what it's like just to have one. You never forget each phase as you have multiple children. For those maybe that are interested in knowing, like I want to hear from a person with multiple children, because I swear people have this guidebook. It's like they already know. For example, they'll be like, a person with multiple children can't possibly show every child all the attention they need. Attention versus accommodation, because when I use the word accommodation, it makes it feel more within reach to me when it comes to my kids. This child might be in need of this accommodation. And this is how long it might take me to work through this to get to this accommodation with this child, especially when you're a single parent. Because, you know, Halle Bailey probably wasn't a single parent all the way through Halo's young life, okay? But we know openly that she was at certain points. Having a lot of money or not, what were the best accommodations for baby Halo? This child might need this accommodation, that accommodation. Some people wear glasses just to read, and others need them all the time. That's what I'm talking about. It doesn't mean that a parent cannot know, at least know, and knowing anything is powerful to me. That's me personally. But that doesn't take from a parent and mean that they don't know. Knowing is the first step. This, and recognizing this is the accommodation I'm fighting for this child. This is the accommodation I'm fighting for child baby 2, baby C, baby D, and it goes on. Do we pay enough attention to that? People, if you put it into words like, oh, they can't serve them all the attention they need. Because attention is probably a percentage of what it takes to parent, but it's not everything. Because now you're teaching your child, well, something wrong with you if you don't get attention all the time. I don't know, that's my opinion. We know what I'm talking about. Depending on the ages and stuff, yes, you can't just stop paying them attention, but that's not the only part of parenting. We know Halle Bailey is paying attention though. That's why I'm very, very proud of her. Her family is probably very proud of her. Thank God she has a very, from what we see, you know, loving relationship with her sister. And she does have, you know, maybe some support to lean on, because that's not every woman's situation. When you don't have family or something, you're not in Miss Bailey's situation, you might have resources though. You might have neighbors. A stranger could be more of a help sometimes. That's why now they have this what's that code for help? They got all kind of ways people ask for help now, man. I don't know, maybe that shows, you know what I'm saying, there's more narcissists out there than ever. Now they got whole signs. You used to just have gang signs. They got signs for everything else, handshakes. But I'm telling you, the people have created signs too to ask one another for help. Because guess what? We're in modern day society, and not everybody might have or some families, they just get burnt out. The victims have families, but it's like they get burnt out. I believe it. Hey, we are tired of hearing and seeing this cycle. I believe Whitney and Bobby probably went through that too. They had people that loved them. Both of them. I believe that. But people get burnt out on y'all mess. When you're in a relationship, it's one thing when you first come out, everybody finding out, okay, you've been being abused. But if they just keep seeing it over and over, kind of like what Krishan was going through for a little while. Krishan Rock, they'll start to feel like that young lady ain't trying to change. That young lady ain't trying to leave that man. They'll judge that too. When, in Cassie Ventura's case, They said, well, she seemed to be enjoying it. I just feel like that's one of the most evil things a person can say when there's clear evidence of victimization in a situation. It's just my opinion. That a person must have enjoyed it, or I think those are statements out of fear too. Fear and misunderstanding of what that person went through. Why would they be fearful of what you went through when it wasn't them? Because it shows them the realization that it could be anybody. That's what I believe. Sorry, I took a pause break real quick. I'm gonna warm up this coffee. But yeah, it just gets deep. Like I said, I haven't been coming live as often, giving my reaction to some of these stories, but that's how every perception, because they say it's not really a cure for narcissism yet. I'm like, that's because the cure is probably them having to literally look at the way that they look at the world. Who raised and groomed you to believe that somebody else putting something they love first is downing you? See, that's that misunderstanding I'm talking about. That's that fear I'm talking about. That's somebody that fears being alone themselves because somebody put something that they love before you. My neighbor might put his rent before my life every day. You know what I'm saying? Why would that make me feel anything? Well, y'all would say that's a bad example, but that's an example where there's no attachment involved. You're just a neighbor, right? But when we talk about domestic violence, because it's not just like family members, it could be spouse, best friend. It's like domestic, especially if you've been knowing that friend 15 years. They talking about that shouldn't be a domestic violence charge. I was just a friend. Think about it. And the friends don't understand, baby. That's my opinion. You've been friends with a family for over a certain amount of time. You're not just a friend no more. That's why they call it a family friend. You practically family. You would be domestically familiar with that person because of the history, because of the timeline. And I respect women like Miss Bailey who, respect their time. Because let's remember, the longer you keep yourself in that situation, most times the harder it can become to, 100% detach from it. Once it gets to extremes. And even like abuse counseling teaches this. Usually, if they've done it to you, first of all, they've done it to somebody else. Or they will. What else do they teach you? Oftentimes, and this is a sad statistic, it take a woman on average after abuse. They say they've seen these cases. It could take a woman up to 7 times to officially leave the person alone. That's even with them knowing they have support now, or knowing they have the courts and everything. Like literally, it get real emotionally for some of these people. Why is this phone ringing? Oh, but yeah, it's called Stockholm Syndrome too. So it turns into a whole different cycle where they find themselves. I'm not being funny, but even Rihanna got back with Chris Brown for a little while. After her incident, they got back together. It gets deep. Even after you publicize the abuse, y'all went to court, and at that time too, she had to sit there and still be criticized, judged a little bit. Because people was like, what kind of image are you showing? Probably her PR, probably the accountants and stuff. It gets very real. They probably is the one had to remind her, like, how is this image now going to affect your young lady fans, though? And that's when I seen, it's like, she thought about that. And thank you, Rihanna. I just want some of these celebrities to know, y'all decisions do not go unseen when you're doing positive things. Because, that would have been kind of more showing the young women that were fans of her. There's just nothing they can do about that. Once you're on celebrity status, you are an influencer. Whether you're on social media or not. People can see one thing you do, one place you go. Now they want to go there. Now they want to wear it. That's the point of being an influencer. But it's sad that even when that influencer is going through a sad time in their life, it still influences people. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Like, when you're an influencer, people are even watching. When you're an influencer, people are already watching even your dark moments, who you are. There's nothing Miss Bailey can control about that. Miss Cassie Ventura and other victims, like, they're already going to be looking at that too. I don't. I think there's a reason for it. Let me slow down because sometimes I'm speaking faster than I think. The thoughts are all right there together. But it's almost like they are watching and judge you through your dark moments. I don't think it's fair. Don't judge my emotional state until the darkness isn't as close to me or something like that. Or they just judge your decisions or the time frame you chose to come out with the truth about something. It's just weird to me. Like, we do have to keep in mind that's that person life every time. Whitney Houston, all of them. That was that person life. All we can be is critics. That's it. Long as we understand it at the me too, at the end of the day. But we can give credit where it's due and respect. Be as loud about that too when we see them making those positive changes. Be more of that for our young generation. Which I'm not saying we're doing a bad job. I see inspirational stories every day, and I want to keep this channel an inspirational story channel as well. That's how you know I'm a firm believer in it. I just first within my own self at home feel like there definitely has to be as much respect and congratulations and flowers and respect where it's due when we see these young women actually try and attempt to make a better decision versus staying in the cycle of abuse. Does not this young lady have a son now? So I'm giving her respect. That's not easy to, then you got the mothers, it's just like, oh, well, I'm going to leave the abuser, but they put their children truly, truly, truly first. Like, they see that child love their daddy, they might go let them stay with the daddy, because of course it's never the child's fault. Even as young as Halo is, they're able to pick up on when something's not right with either parent. That's crazy. Maybe kids can feel that, like mama's stressed, and that's stressing them. What y'all mean? They'll tell you that when they're in the belly, but I did a short about it. The umbilical cord, y'all can cut that in a physical, but it does not cut the attachment of that parent to their offspring. That started at the beginning of the 9 months. And it's an attachment that's, in my opinion, it's like forever. Because some people, even after death, they feel connected to their loved ones. Okay? And I don't know if the, abusers are not just men, but in this case, is he thinking, what is he going through? You got a son here that's watching everything you do. That's why he's putting us in the mind to judge you like a narcissist, brother. Because it's like you're treating her, if she don't put y'all relationship, and it's weird. I don't know what all they going through. What he's trying to portray is what I'm saying. Like, that's what it seemed like sometimes. If they find out and it's an abuser, even if they're not showing it on the outside, that you have something else you love before them. They just want to play with that thing or play with your emotions about that thing. It's so stupid. Whether it's a job, family, your kids, it gets to that level if you don't cut it off. So I was just elaborating on what I mean. Give these ladies their flowers too when we see them walk away. Because I think Keke Palmer is another one. She reconciled at some point too with her abuser. You see how people just be crickets then, because really we can't say nothing. All you could do is still be a critic. Like, oh, okay. People don't even say, oh, she must love that person. That ain't how people feel. This ain't the 80s and the 90s, 70s. People don't believe you love them just because you got back with them. People have more knowledge about some of these psychological affairs now. That's what I think it is. A person not just gonna look on the outside. This is what the abusers think though. well, if they see him back around me, they'll just discredit their whole story about how I really was. So, yeah, maybe they do try to shield those relationships, you know what I'm saying, instead of healing it properly and, making sure they understand their actions was wrong and all of that. Yeah. It's like they get mad. Oh, you love that. It could be sitting in the grass every day. Yeah, let me start there. So you have now publicized and showed your significant other you like sitting in the grass every day. And you just start noticing every time around that time, or it's just something always compromised with the grass all of a sudden. Like, come on, bro, why would that not be noticeable? And why would you expect people to believe that just because she jumps back with you, your image is corrected? It's weird. That's why I'm saying once it gets to this level and it's publicized and people know about it, don't try to control their perception after that. Just because you work it out with that person, that's great. I still, like I said, remember Rihanna and Chris Brown, though. Y'all said, well, we done with DDG. Y'all wasn't done with Chris Brown. You still love him to this day. Some of us, let's be honest, you still find yourself playing an R. Kelly record from time to time. It's your birthday, so you played Step in the Name of Love. I'm trying to make jokes out of it, but that's kind of me too, the comedic side, like. But I mean, be honest with yourselves. That's irrelevant, or maybe we try to make that a punishment where we're not gonna support that person no more. And I feel that, you know what I'm saying? But still, that's just the outlets. That's like the surrounding things of these situations. What the penalties that you can occur just sit around abusing people. Shedding light to me on one abuse and not the other is not right. So I always mention it when I talk about abuse. They have animal control for animal abuse. They have elderly abuse hotlines for that. They have hotline you can call for children. They have hotline you can call for the mentally disabled. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different situations where somebody can be. You know what I'm saying? But like, is that a thing? Who do the celebrities call? Right? We just like, they got money, they'll work it out. They'll figure it out. Like, that's crazy. I'm actually already convinced. Nobody told me this, but it's not illegal to have my own opinion. I do feel like this is what sums up what I'm saying. We can expect in the next 5 years maybe. I don't know where the number 9 came from, but maybe 9 months, 9 weeks, 9 days, 9 years. We can expect to actually probably see more people come out. And more people coming out means, and I don't mean in the LGBT community. I left off talking about that a second ago, but I mean with these abuse stories, survivor stories, let me call them that. Why? And it's nothing wrong with that. But why? People are tired. I remember I saw in one country recently, the people had just went ahead and, I don't even know if I should speak on it. They just had got tired of a situation in their country. And it was pretty much gangs bullying the villages. Because they were mad about something. That's where division can get crazy to me versus unity. All of y'all are the people of the country, but the gangs are them, and the regular common townspeople are them. And they have lives to live, children, families. And that's what made me think about it. Yeah, as humans, people get tired. If anything, people be like, why the abusers ain't tired? I don't know. Like, to us, we could just ask, why you couldn't just love Halle Bailey? Look at how beautiful she is. Look at all the good qualities. We don't know. Somebody in the comments was like, not these comments, y'all, on the podcast about it. They was like, y'all don't know, she's abusive first. Back to this brands. I see your comment here about the Tory and Meg situation. Yeah, where people will try to, I don't know if it be in the person defense, if you want to call it that, P. Diddy too. It'll just be like some of these were willing participants, or what it's really called victim shaming. Everybody don't look at it that way, where you automatically trying to find reasons to discredit what that person's saying to defend the other person. I mean, it's not new, but they was like, Halle Bailey is really mean behind the scenes and bitchy. What the next comment said, were you there? Seriously, I think I commented was like, yeah, you know exactly. You don't know these people. You got to remind people that. But you know the people that you see every day. You know the people around you in your communities and cities. And life is very real. You know when you watch movies. Some are true stories, some are not. So I never read into that. Those are just people's opinions. I'm not going to say, well, yeah, what if she was a... See, you're trying to justify why he raised his hand to me if we just had a personal one-on-one conversation about it and put his hands on the mother of his child. By saying she's this, that. Just like that woman has the power to get a restraining order, walk away. Let me tell y'all who else be having the same power to do that in these situations. You know, and you can't play with the system like, okay, well, I sued her, I'm walking away. It looked like Blueface was, I don't know if he was serious about it, but it was like he was trying to do that at certain points through his situation with her. But once again, yeah, like people said about Halle Bailey's situation, it's kind of hard to just, I'm walking away. And y'all got a whole baby together. You know, like I said, it's possible. Many things are possible. People just be putting restraints. Then you have to turn around and put restraints. It's crazy, you know. One second, guys. But yeah, anyways, the Tory Lanez thing, that had its evidences. I heard the rumors that I'm gonna say my opinion. I feel like if she lied on that man, it's just morally wrong to even twist the story a little bit to where he looks more guilty than what he was. Any part of it. I wouldn't defend her because she's a woman. But see how time waits on no man. The truth always come out. Lies die. The truth doesn't. Okay? Because a lie wasn't even living to begin with. The only breath a lie has, y'all, here I am with the inspirational quotes on the live too, but feel free to check out the shorts anytime if you're new to the channel. A lie, the only breath it ever has is what you give it. It's like you got to give CPR to a lie over and over again. It ain't even living like that. Like you got to blow breath into it. The truth is like just constantly living, like forever. You can't kill the truth. You can only try to bury it, cover it up, push it out the way. And that's what I think when I think about Meg and Tory with this situation. Will you warm up my coffee, sweetie? 33 seconds should be perfect. Y'all feel like family to us on live. You know, you might hear the babies. It's gonna be summer. And I just enjoy that. You know what I'm saying? If they get too loud, you will hear me muted sometimes. That's on my Crown Publishing content lives too. You know, we have a time we work, a time we spend our time together, a time they got to do their work. So, and yes, you only get 24 hours in every day. Hit that like button if y'all agree. Y'all might say, Arthur TETASHERI, there's plenty of time. I have 4 kids, you know. It is a lot of time, but you want to balance it accordingly. Thank you, sweetie. Let me see. 15 more seconds. Our family really be like a TV show every day. And I don't even try to do that. Like, just the jokes we'll sporadically do. Like, you watching Moesha or something. Disney Channel. It just tickles me. But, because I don't like stream it, we might have something like that coming. Because even my little baby is getting older. And maybe I could just catch more footage of more of our day-to-day too, you know. People like that. They like the family live stream. vlogs and everything. I noticed that with the other channels, you know. We're also, what did I have? That Oh She Funny page. If y'all haven't subscribed over there yet, because I do be on mine. Even without trying comedial vibes sometimes, you know, because sometimes that is how we get through things. You don't want to cry all the way through it. I don't know who's still out there doing it. You know, God has his special ways that he can make you smile, or he can bring that funny bone back. Maybe that's what people try to do to us. You take away the funny bone, ain't nothing funny to you no more. Like, you just take life too serious. Some people do. So inspiration to me is always important, because comedy is an inspiration to some people. Not just the comedians, but the people who wholeheartedly laugh. Every moment is a choice. I mean, it's a gift, but it's like your choices is the gift back. It's a good way to look at it. I'm going to post that as a short today, y'all. Y'all don't steal it, okay? All my quotes be original, for real. What did I say? Choices is a gift. Or the time and everything is a gift. But see, what you do with that choice, the one you choose to make, that's your response back. That's your gift back. People probably like, how do I give to the universe? Well, every time something good happens for you, you wake up in the morning, you take another breath, what is your gift going to be back? Hey, universe, I'm going to work out today. You know what? I haven't studied this in a long time. I'm going to start studying this. I'm going to make sure I go on a jog. Like, yeah, because you never know, on a whole nother part of the world, somebody could be trying to take your funny bone away from you. It's just funny. It was amazing to me. I knew God was real when, I started seeing stuff like that. Like, if you walk around too serious, you will miss the gift of laughter. And who wants to do that? And it's really crazy, because I'm not talking about evil laughter. Y'all know they have whole evil laughs out there. You'll hear, if you want an example, turn on a cartoon. I don't care how innocent the cartoon is, there's always somebody in it probably got an evil laugh, because there's always a villain. And so that's what I mean about the gift of laughter too, understanding those things. Yes, I'm saying laugh, it's a gift, but watch what you laugh at. Y'all not gonna get me in trouble. Well, God, she told me to laugh. Watch what you laugh at. I told him, God. Don't just be out here laughing at anything. Or, take time to consider, because we're all guilty. We're all guilty of probably laughing at something that probably shouldn't be laughed at. But it is a blessing to find humor in, and that's there's nothing funny about their situation, though. Not right now. Sometimes you do look back on things and you laugh. And the next person, you can't expect them to understand it. They like, that person laughing at that, especially if it's something, it was their experience. I wouldn't read too much into it. I would just be happy to see them laughing. I'm telling you, depending on what me, I do love that. I love learning people. But you wouldn't love learning people if you hadn't learned to love to learn yourself. Like, so I'm still doing it every day. But I just thought that's a very beautiful gift, to be able to even see you can share that with other people, like the gift of laughter. You can actually sense the funny and why they thought that was funny. You know what I mean? You don't have to be super close. But I do feel like I've been super close to people where we have that code, like, what they call it, y'all? It's like only y'all two would find it funny. That's exactly why you told that person. You know what I mean? But even that can be used in a dark way. They call it dark humor. I do say watch that. You got to watch what you laugh at. But inside joke. That's the word I was looking for. It's like an inside joke. And the third party will be like, what's the joke? I want to know, because they feel like they understand jokes. And they'll try to tell them, and they still don't get it. They like, see, don't worry about it. It's an inside joke. The funniest jokes to me are the inside jokes. You hear me? They funny. You don't have them with everybody. Or if you get to the level where you even have an inside joke with God, yeah, you made it. You know what I mean? You and God look over there, and it's like, y'all chuckle. You know what I mean? Or You just did something and God laughed, but you understand why he laughed. You end up laughing with him. You can't help it, you know. I could talk about laughter all day, though. Yes. Oh, here it is. She can have it. I'm pretty much done with that. Here. Hey, boom. Come here. Give me that ball. So, I still wish the best. That's what I want to know. Do y'all feel like they can work that out? It's probably too soon to say. Cause let's remember this whole thing started with romance, love, them being highly attracted to one another, or remember, oh, I never got to talk about it. The whole Romeo pimp, cause it's actually different. If you look it up in a psychological way, it's different levels of pimping. I hate to say it that way, but it is. Like I said, it's different categories of it. And I'm not saying that this situation is that either. But knowledge is power. Ladies, gentlemen, and even for our youth, because they are the next ones to go through the cycle every time. And what we're showing them is okay when we're young ladies. See how she have a son, y'all? Some of the other women have daughters and sons. Some just daughters. Every situation is different, but I don't say anybody deserves to go through it, because I feel like being an abuser, you probably like, what they going through? I mean, yeah, you're going through something. So it just make you feel bad on both sides. It's like, why you feel like you got to do that? Obviously you feel like you're going through something, and then that person has to be succumb to it. And when you have boys around, okay, it's just like with any kid though. You just showing them that's okay. Yeah, keeping a situation going, no matter which one choose to walk away first. What about that being a sign of love for those children? It ain't even about the woman first and her say, get them away from the, or change the situation up a little bit. See, we see he got his beautiful aunt, Miss Chloe. He probably have other support on the other side of the family. And then when it's these situations, I'm like, okay, it's probably like restraining order against him, which the news already saying that, but it's temporary or whatever till they go back. Probably go back to court. But I wonder in those moments, can he still see his like other family of the fathers in those situations, like, because they weren't the ones like doing anything per se. You see what I'm saying? In those situations, it looks like they show him on live sometimes, like he hang out totally with his other family and stuff, but they be so young at that age, they cannot say where they want to go, but like then they get to the age where they can. And people just have to be real and consider that. Nobody want to sit around and see that happening to their mama all day, man. Not even her baby. Not saying it was happening all day, every day. But for those that want to go look into it, research what, you know, that stuff sometimes become public records. It's out there because of what everybody involved was going through or who got abused. I don't want to quote it if I didn't know for sure, but it was something about he pushed her out the car, supposedly. I hope not. That's awful. Or tried to. I think these were like different occasions where they just be trying to tell different situations maybe that they went through with the person. People be beat down enough. I'm not here to beat him down. Young ladies have to pay attention. It's just like extension, a quote of love. I think people take it as they telling you you're not paying attention. Because maybe it mean that too. Yeah, they paying attention. You have no choice but to pay attention when it's you that it's happening to. So it's more of a matter of that part too. Am I allowing this? Is there anything more I can be doing to change this? Or am I accepting it to the fullest extent? It's like a process. Some faster with some women than other. others, but making sure we give them that respect too, because people do be loud when they judging and talking about she like with Cassie. Yeah, people was like she was quiet with P Diddy until, like, what y'all mean? They just be like they enjoy it or they enjoyed the money while they going through it. Like Halle Bailey have her own money before she met that guy. Ain't I right about it? I think she was just already. I hate that people make it about that all the time, but when they do, and you have to look at it, same with Cardi B and Offset. Then everybody talking about that. Like, yeah, well, he had more money. That probably was what it was. But oftentimes more the other way. The woman is, I ain't even talking about the money. Let's say have something more successful going on, or it's just crazy that we actually see it like, we're not accusing him of that, but bro, it's a sign of that. Are you jealous of the young lady's success? I liked his song he just did. What was that video called, baby? In the pink. I like it. No, by DDG.
Oh.
That came out just recently. You don't know what video I'm talking about?
No, I don't even know.
I know my other daughter do. And I actually like it. And everybody was like, okay, he working on his career. It's just like, it don't mean it wasn't already going on. Like, she already, that's just to be respected, bro. Like, people still supporting you. Just had an album, different stuff, supporting you. When you go live with your baby, like, I feel like for the most part, people was like rooting for him. That's all I'm saying. Oh, my baby said, They was rooting for him, baby. And then the next thing you hear, those yogurt smoothies, Morgan, these right here. You just poke a hole. It's like a foil seal. You poke a small hole and she can, in the butter department.
Okay.
You see them?
Yes.
You can have one too if you'd like.
Definitely not. I almost closed the refrigerator, but I forgot to there.
Yeah, man. I think the last I heard about that was Tory Lanez might be getting out, or they gonna go back to court about that. I don't know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. You say some women be gaslighting the situation out of proportion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I hope the best for them overall. Like, I do consider that. Like, them people can get back together. Some of them be doing it. What was that other one? Not Cameron. Boom. What are you doing? Here. She didn't want it?
Yeah.
I'm looking at her. She usually loves those.
Come here, Dream.
Get those eggs right there are cool.
Okay. Dream.
She can hold it open. I'm watching her. I'm looking right at her. I don't know why she likes playing it. Get it. Get what you need, Boom, and close it. Close it back. See? But Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion, they didn't have a baby together, though. That's just like a different... They weren't married, anything. That's what I thought was messed up with that, too. Like, you mean to tell me y'all was just leaving a party, just having fun together? I don't know. I got to go back and look at that story. I think I did a podcast about it back around the time. Because they was like, she still had videos and she was dancing or walking. But she said she got... See, shot and grazed is two different things. It's still, y'all know, it ain't right to even be playing with it around people. People are childish. They always were to me. They want to play with their pistol around people. It's just like, I mean, if they really skilled and trained, it's up to them, I guess. You know, it's just like, bro, what are you carrying it around for? Just, is it more, are you on a mature level? Is it for, protection, boom, boom, boom? Because y'all know with the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy, Young Jeezy situation, that was actually the big deal with their custody battle. Her taking, many more stories coming out like that too. Like, they sneaking in the house trying to catch pictures of stuff wrong in a house while people gone. Straight up. That's what happened with Young Jeezy situation too. It's like, yeah, y'all probably used to stay there together. That's why those situations are different. When you share the babies, Y'all probably stayed there together in these specific mansions or houses, apartments, whatever you got going on. But now, people know what broke up mean. You ain't at that person's house unless y'all done made an agreement about that. That's just, and I'm serious. You've been seeing this with celebrity stories. How is y'all getting in their house, past security, all this, taking pictures of stuff, then try to go turn it to your lawyer? Because it was more of a gun thing because Jeezy had his daughter by her, Miss Mine. Jeannie Mine. I did a podcast about that too. I might share a few of those old ones here in the comments after I post this live because it's just important. I'm just trying to show people how much more frequent it just seemed to be happening, no matter what communities it is financially. You know what I mean? That's where I be more on my faith level and spiritual level. You know what I'm saying? When you can see it more on a broader level like that. You not the only one. It's always somebody going through something worse. This is the Inspirational Quotes channel. Make sure you subscribe today if you haven't already and give this video a like after I post it. But somebody is always going through worse or they have been there. I don't care how alone. I don't care what it is. It is so crazy. It made me love the human race a little better. As I saw it, things different. Perception is powerful. That's a quote in itself. I'm like, man, humans have been through it. Just, you can't just sit around like, oh, woe is me, man. I'm going through this. Like, I'm trying to inspire you guys this morning. Or if you see this stream later. There's just always somebody going through worse. It seemed like such a negative quote. But that truth is what sets us free. And you shouldn't be happy to know that. It's just the truth. That don't mean they're going to go through worse forever. That somebody just always in a season of something worse than what you think you're going through in that moment. Have you guys ever looked at it that way? Because when you do, you can't help but like, man, look at humans, man. We done been through as a collective, we've gone through the trenches and back and around circle. People have had their lows and darknesses. That's what I'm saying. Or what you call worser seasons than somebody else. How is it possible everybody agree, oh yeah, there's always somebody going through worse. How is that possible if somebody is not in current time going through worse then? You gotta love them. Everybody has their season probably of it. Their worser season in an area of their life than the next. Because where you could be strong, I could be weak. Where he's weak, she's strong. What's wrong with that? But we know. Usually when you put those together and work together, you do get a better outcome. Okay, we got where the weakness is over here. Now we know we need a strong soldier right there. Where it's strong right here, these weak ones, we got to move them just like that. It help you more weed things where it need to go. Just like a choir. You got the sopranos over here, the altos, and everybody is on the notes in the right section where they need to be. We got to do that with life too, man. I don't think Halle is one of those they can say, well, yeah. They just can't say that this time. She was only for his money. She's accusing him of this for his money. Y'all think some have already opened up about that. She can be in there. I'm in there. I'm right here. Thank you. Here, come get your plate, Boone. Give me my lemons. Yeah. You gotta drink some tea or something for these. They're cold. That's
Yes, I do.
You want an apple?
Yes,
You can't just sit here and eat a lemon.
I do.
Here, they're on the table. Your eggs are over here.
No!
What?
I want
Well, put your SpongeBob shoes on. Good job. Put them on. Your SpongeBob and Patrick. And Halo, he's so smart. Everybody say that in the comments. He just really alert and smart. He be talking back to them now like my toddler. Her baby was born actually. Her baby was born in December of 23. Halo, my baby was born April of 23. Our babies are actually the same age. Just another reason I was like feeling for her and the situation that she was going through. You know, we got toddlers out here, man, and there's some of just another thing that helps you love life more. Like toddlers can teach you so much, man. It just like, hey, we were all once at this level. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the world through our eyes at their same ages. You know what I mean? And her baby he's a youngin'. He's older than T.I.'s son, new baby. I just be loving this celebrity sometimes. Let me tell y'all, my morning started with looking at those Chris Brown pictures. It just made my day already. Like how he let them take the pictures with him for $1,100. Probably a little more or less in some places. But I think it's so cool. I ain't went up there and took a picture with Chris Brown yet. But it's so cool that he allows this option with his fans. I know I used his story for an example for something else a second ago. But we speed up 10, 15 years. Chris Brown is doing it all big different now. You know what I'm saying? He's just an example of experience. You know what I'm saying? Like what they're going through. But he did not have kids with Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? They went through, and we don't know what situation led. That is a fact. When people say that, I don't think they're defending the person when they say that. Same with the Diddy and Cassie situation. Like, oh, we don't know what the quote unquote alleged victim did to make that person go that far. There's always going to be that one person that says that. Like, y'all don't know what they did. Boy, you got to be careful a little bit with that comment, because it's like, what could a person do that you couldn't get no other help with your situation than to immediately jump straight to violence? But I am the crazy lady for preaching humbleness and humility. I wouldn't say per se turning the other cheek, because I believe God himself will make you and tell you to stand up for yourself. I mean, God did have warriors in the Bible, like real life fought physically, like war physically against either other groups or countries. Y'all know how it was. They had wars. But sometimes one-on-one too, because that was about the story of Samson. Like, he was just known. It didn't matter who he was. His strength was so powerful, he would take them down. That's supposed to be the story of Samson with the long hair. DDG had just cut his dreads off too, though. It was just a lot of different stuff. He just been trending because he had the new song. I think his song even one of the trending TikTok ones right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, personally, I liked it. I liked the new song. I can't even think of it. I know they got on all pink. If you play that song around me, I'm a jam. I was trying to give your talent a chance. Talent still, once again, we talked about that on some of my old streams. Talent is just talent. That's never a person's personality. It is record of me saying that on lives a long time ago, because I knew then. I was already looking at the world different. Like, you know what I'm saying? People sit in seats and places and titles, and that's cool. I don't want to get lost in them. Because, you know, that's where they will call you fake. It's like, yeah, you might be this on TV, but they already been on it. That's why Halle, Bailey, and DDG in the news right now. Yeah, it is always about that. People are looking at that now like, yeah, bro, you can have talent all day long. Like, who are you, though? Because now that you have fans, people just be wanting to know. Some, it don't matter what you do. You was Elvis Presley or somebody, they still a fan, you know, but they fans and stuff, so, you know, they care about who you are outside of your talent, on the screen, in the music, however you're a industry guru, entertainment guru. You might be a talk show host like Wendy Williams. And look, so stuff happens to them behind the scenes. Any of us, You have a job, you go home, whatever your home is, that's what's going on in your life. We're not talking narcissists and empaths no more. We're just talking about the truth. You just money work. That's just something you have to do, and you can be talented in what you do. We all got a life behind the scenes. That's what it comes down to me. Now we all got a life behind the scenes, or you're not entertaining. You're not working. You don't have a life at all. That's just me spinning back around with the inspiration. We don't just talk about them to blast them. We always been talking about inspiration. What can we learn from the celebrities? All your money can't change everything all the time. Y'all seen how them house fires happen in California? It happened to some of the celebrities' houses. They go through things too. Some of them, I'm sure they got new houses by now. Or people is just like, oh, they're fine. They have money, they'll be fine. Like, man, that's kind of insensitive first thought. Like, oh, they can just go buy them another mansion. Hey, but the emotional attachment, it doesn't hurt. The emotional attachment they could have had to the things they already had. Not the Prada and Gucci bags. They probably had family photos just like you do in your house. Keepsakes, things that you cannot replica from before they were rich. I do give them that. That's an emotional loss for anybody. Fires and stuff. And, it happened over there to some of those people's houses. That wasn't that long ago. That is good for the ones that were able to go get them somewhere else to stay. But that's not new. People been knowing some celebrities stay in Beverly Hills, parts of California, all the time. I just say, me personally, I would have been moved from there. All the stuff been happening. A lot of people have. I'm just saying, that probably would have been my personal preference too. They have earthquakes. That's just for starters. They have storms. In the winter, it's been bad lately there. Not because I've been there lately, but because it's mediatized. When these weatherization disasters happen. Ain't DDG from California? I don't know what made me start talking about California, but I would have probably got away from there a long time ago anyway. Just as a home place, like, yeah, me and my family gonna stay here. We rich, and this is the house we choose to stay in. Because they cannot possibly be in every house at the same time. You're one celebrity. You got your family who live with you. Do y'all think about that? Like, they don't stay. They probably have one in the mountains somewhere, one vacation house over there, one over here in Africa. They do not stay in one every day. They probably living in multiple, and then the ones that do, yeah, some of their houses was in California. Like, that's where they wanna that's where their preference was to do where they want to live. Where you live, do business is not the same for everybody. Some people, yeah, maybe they got production studios in the house. Down the street, they got their own suites and stuff. On the Hollywood suites locations. I don't know. But not everybody works where they live. Which some in the hood would tell you don't do that. Don't ever do that. But some nail techs, beauticians, barbers, mechanics, you name it. A lot of them started at home. Maybe they just grow to the point everybody don't work at home like that no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? It don't have to be an office suite, big business either. It's just not their home. That's all I was saying. Some people travel on the road. We don't know how they do it. I was watching it the other day. Those RV stories. They got whole channels of people just vlogging or stories of people who said, you know what? Forget the industrial life. I'm going out on the road to just live. I'm taking my kids. And some of the comments were saying they should let the kids have an opinion because, that's a whole different way to live. Like, They just on the road with their parents all the time, and then some kids commented. You don't see that everywhere. The kids was commenting like, "Hey, I'm 9 or I'm 13. I'm this age." Like they was saying they love living on the road. Not the kids of the videos, just random commenters. Y'all know how that is. The kids on the videos, they parents. Not every parent let their kids be on social media. Like they might show them, but as far as just like having their own personality on social media, not every parent do that. That's another thing with DDG and Holly Bailey. People were saying that they feel like he was just trying to use the baby for brand image, which the Kardashians, they're more open with it, or like people say they want to be like that in business. Like, hey, they brand their kids' names. Like, this already a brand. You do too much with this name, that name, you're messing with a higher level of something. It's not just a name no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, now you're playing with a brand. We know the money side of it. Like, okay, they're doing business maybe with this brand, or ooh, Kardashian line of this and that. But it is a name. That's my point. Some people choose to do this with their children's at an early age. Like, you already in the internet personality. Everybody used to see you. You know, you actually interact with the followers and the fans. Some are open to this, some are not. So I know some of them probably do clash, cause I give her that. She got a right to be overprotective. Some parents want them in the spotlight, some don't. But I would say she's showing more as like, this my family, this my son. She don't have it all. I don't know. I ain't ever seen her say she coming out to just make Halo a brand. It's and he just do shorts. He just do short. He show not shorts, but like he shows his life too. But you could definitely tell they was separate or something, separated recently. Cause I think people was just happy to see that the baby was happy. They see him, whether he's with dad or mom, and people support it, and we love Halo. They call themselves internet cousins, internet cousins, internet aunties, internet uncles and stuff. When they're big fans. Sorry, my notifications doing it again. They're so annoying. Dang. I should put it on I think if I put it on do not disturb though. I was trying to see something real quick, but cause some people when they put it on do not disturb, it'll no it won't, no it won't. Yeah, I can put it on there, but I was thinking it might mess with the connection, but yeah, your internet is still work on do not disturb. Yeah, that's the thing about that. It's a little more complicated when the kids are involved. No set of children from the 60s, 70s, 80s now should ever have to even witness it a little bit. We not saying we know for sure if the baby was like seeing it go down with his mom and daddy sometimes, but people would assume it, right? And y'all be forgetting when they celebrities, them kids ain't the only ones that see it. They have bodyguards around, security, chefs, gardeners. Ain't no telling. I'm like, oh my god. They choose to go get 6-story mansions. Like, you gonna need a lot of help keeping up with something like that. And then plus there's more eyes on your business like that. Like, if it is going on. Just like Ike and Tina, everybody probably saw a lot. They witnessed it. Even though they don't be talking at that time. They feel like, oh, that's their business. That's crazy. And during that, if you working for a couple that's experiencing it, it is crazy to think about the positions you just putting the people. That's why I say it seems like a sabotagement type of a tactic. Come on, man, let her leave her personal life personal. Even if you her baby daddy, we see she wasn't the type. You can't say he tried to come out and say she wasn't letting him see him. I think people just stayed quiet because she wasn't coming out saying nothing publicly at that time. which I respect her for. Like, yeah, sis, I feel that vibe. Like, bro, everybody ain't got a reactionary on the internet to what you doing. People just not used to that. And the ones that stand on that, it's like, oh, I don't know why something got to be wrong with it. She just wasn't responding. Like, bro, you kept going live saying she ain't letting you see the baby, but not the whole time. That's what mattered with their story. That's crazy. Like, bro, you weren't. First, we saw y'all together, like his birthday party. The fans that keep up, you saw the birthday party. They had a birthday party. Both of them was there. Um, that's why it looked a certain way when you said that, bro. Like, even when we stopped seeing y'all in pictures and videos and stuff together, where now you just on live with your son by yourself, more like with your peeps. If you on a podcast, whatever, got your son with you, cool. We see you are in his life. He ain't that old. That's my point. The baby not that old. But then the fans have to hear, oh, I'm not seeing him out of nowhere. But she didn't react publicly. She handled herself with grace, and they picked a great young lady to, no matter who's trying to sabotage the image of her playing that role in her career, they picked a great young lady. I hope she hear this one day, like, to play the Little Mermaid, for real. As a character, not just singing and a talent, but like how you're carrying yourself, young lady, through this situation. If nobody else do, I'ma give her that. Like, hey, some of us fans, we don't just see the negative in y'all life. Like, we actually, because you are an influencer at that level. Like, I was using Rihanna and Chris Brown at the time. They separated. We saw good things on both sides. She moved on. We got to see them still be friends. Sometimes you might have caught them at games together, them courtside games. Not sitting together, but they both there. The cameras be messy. They'll catch both of them, like, or they'll stop, shake hands. Not everybody remains enemies because of domestic violence situations. Just reminding the world of that too. When we look at these situations, and the people just respect it, or they just be like, man, we probably still got hope they'll get together. People do be secretly feeling it too about certain couples. Why y'all think that is? It just make you think about all the, seeing their situation. I ask myself, do I see them doing it? Because for real, Keke Palmer, I think at some point, I don't know if they're together right now. But some point recently, she did get back with that baby's father. She had the baby by. And shout out to her and the baby and the family. I hope they're doing well. Because like I said, it really ain't nothing wrong with healing a situation. It's really not. Why does that seem like so forbidden and touchy to people? I'm not saying she should rush in and heal and try to see why, or Cardi B should rush in Offset and try to see why their relationship went wrong and try to fix it just because they're women. Because when y'all are saying that these women should settle down and just be with one man, you do know, be specific. You're not telling them to put up with that type of behavior, are you? Because look at the age ranges too. Now, Keke Palmer probably a little bit older than somebody like myself or people in my age range. But this other young lady, she is early 20s. The one we're talking about today. And that's her first baby. He young too. DDG's young too. So that's just, and it is sad. All that matter because if drugs and stuff is involved, or alcohol, and it applies to these guys too, celebrities too, like, because with some people under the influence, that could be a whole thing. Come on now, you're a celebrity. If you want to, you can have whole access to all this liquor and wine. That is a whole choice. You gotta not turn up too much. Once again, that maturity, responsibility, experience in the industry. Should they only get with people that's like on their same level? Yeah, maybe they was with love don't know levels. We all agree with that. That's why we supported their relationship. Come on, man. No matter what level, height she was in hers, we still at some point heard she was pregnant and they were celebrating a baby and a pregnancy and trying to stick it out through their relationship. Those are great things to hear about any couple, especially when it's the first baby. That's cool. Like DDG, you know how I showed it? Like he got a sister. I think he got at least got a sister. Am I talking about the right one? He got family too. You know, the dads be having they come with their own lives as it is, and we have to consider that on both sides when with the co-parenting situations. And it always is better. Sometimes the court do have to intervene. Let us help y'all mediate and find a way that both of y'all can be in a baby life where everybody is comfortable. That's what it come down to. So the restraining order they talking about right now is temporary. That's been put in place for herself and the baby because she's working. It's something else to think about. I don't know if I want to go into that. My reaction to that, but it's something to look at. I think she's going to another country to work for a little while. She was already working on a project. That's the thing. Your work can't stop. You got a baby now. She's probably thinking about that. And ain't nothing wrong with thinking that way. And a lot of celebrities don't change the way they work just because they have kids. Some of the kids are on the road with them. Some aren't. But it is life changing when you have kids and you're an entertainer. I'm sure. And the kids are going through things depending on whether they're on the road or not too. That's why some celebrities live like that, some don't. Maybe they considered that with her case. Like, you working on a movie or you working on a production, whatever you working on, you trying to work, we can understand a temporary, or, especially if she had the pictures and been doing it. If he had been doing it, maybe they considered that she was a working woman, had work to do. Anyways, I just want to come give a little bit of my reaction to that new news to all of us. I just wanted to come and give my reaction today. Happy Friday to you all. Subscribe. You will make it TV if you haven't already. Because we love you and have an inspiring day. One act of kindness at a time changes the world a little bit at a time. And the pace that happens does depend on us. You know what I mean? We got to keep in mind, like I said, some of the couples get back together. It's inspiring to know in itself because I haven't seen Keke Palmer back in the news at all. Like, if it is happening, that's what shows us that we don't be knowing. You know what I'm saying? It don't. Like, a lot of people don't do follow-up stories. Like, you just see them out publicly again. Like, hey, it's working out better. We've been working on ourselves. It's really not our business. All the young women will tell you that. Until they need help and support. And that's where it gets tricky. Like I say, the family, the support they be thinking they have, it's like they get to the point of burnt out in some people's life. Whitney Houston always had people that love her, but once people begin to feel like you just gonna keep getting back with the person, they do become a little more insensitive. That's a whole topic when you are talking about victims in domestic violence. Because is that less or more encouraging for her to eventually, even if it take a while, for her to eventually leave it alone, is support rather, because you don't want to be, what's that called? Like encouraging a habit either. So I can feel that you just get burnt out. Like, I don't want to show this person I'm going to help them. Every time this person hurt them, and then they begin to think it's okay to just, it's like you're not trying to force them to not love the person, but yeah, is abuse healthy and you got children? No, it's not. Sit. So what you gonna get mad about the baby? It ain't the baby's fault. So the possessive ones just be a little mixed up, if you ask me. Like, you're not thinking all the way straight. Cause their perceptions in the matter, trust me, eventually they speak on it. Even those that the father or mother wasn't there all their life, if they ever get to talk to them, they end up speaking on it, whether it's in a mean way or not. People have different emotions. when it comes to who raised them and how the household was coming up. Period. There's nothing anything any human can do about that. And some people they didn't even appreciate who they had in their life until they was gone. There's nothing nobody can change about that either. It's just like it's not new. Y'all more publicize those that seem to be fake and how unloyal it is to come to people's funerals and all of this, but you really didn't like them when they was alive. But it is real with some people where they literally did not appreciate somebody or even think about their existence the way they do when a person is gone, like passed on. Seriously. Now they think about them more in spirit or something more than ever, in a way you couldn't even do while that person was here. So when we talk about giving people flowers on my channel, we mean it. You know what I mean? It's a serious thing. You don't ever want to do that. That quote is true. You don't ever want to wait till somebody gone. And in domestic violence situations, maybe that should be spoken up more, advertised more. You don't just throw them in prison and say don't do it no more. Think about that. That's the person you had a baby with. They gonna probably get on your stinking nerves when that person gone. They gone not just to you, because as a narcissist, maybe you think that they would be gone to people they had a potential to meet but never got to. They would be gone to the people that they know. They would be gone to their children, because it happens for all of us one day. And when you gone, yes, that should not be the only time that a person like, you know what, I did love Halle Bailey. It shouldn't even be at your hands in any type of way. It's an uncomfortable topic, but thank God for the advocacy over the years where more people are understanding. What did I say? They have whole secret codes now, like hand gestures. Call 911, but you ask for a pizza. Like, people are more understanding when somebody need help, especially now that the internet and photos and videos exist. That's whether I'm on here saying it or not. That's a fact. Some could not even be wrong with a person, and people like, is that person okay? People are more sensitive than ever. It's funny, but it's serious at the same time. People be like, is this a sign of this or that? Now, a clear video or photo is what it is. If somebody fighting or something happened, you're going to see that for itself. But some things like that, read between the lines type stuff, I feel like that is real. Some people do that. They read too deep. But is that even a real thing you can do? Like, how can you read something too deep? But they say people be doing it. And I say it's real too when you talking about the internet. But some things just can't be denied. Once again, you got videos, photos actually show you, like, right there, what was transpiring or what happened. You know what I'm saying? Some videos even have audio. What y'all talking about? Like, this stuff is so advanced. The old school videos had audio to VHS tapes. They did. So we should have knew this wasn't a hard advancement. Now on the gaming, they can put on headsets and talk to the other people. On Xbox, they can talk to the other players on some, and just there's been a lot of technology advances that really do connect you to people in a new way, where you actually can feel like you were there, or you can speak on, or you know what I'm saying. And that's crazy with Keke Palmer's situation. It was actually video of just like one particular place where he might have been putting his hands on her. It sucks on both sides. They're both. We can't say the abuser is a victim only after they've been exposed. You're a victim the whole time. You had a problem. You're abusing somebody. Making sure people understand why people hurt when it's domestic violence. Like, not they get away with just, oh, you're supposed to love that person. It ain't even just that. When it's a betrayal, like, It's not just that. It's like it's everybody in their healthiest spaces that they can be, because you can easily bleed on others. They do say that. You know what I'm saying? You're cut and you're bleeding on others. It's, once again, that's just my, like, you had to find a balance. Not 100% feeling sorry for an abuser, but definitely still feeling that weight of, that person is going through something for sure. Nobody just wake up like, yeah, I'm gonna beat up my baby mom. In they head, that's not the Little Mermaid. That's not the singer. That's, somebody to them now. They got a whole life outside of work. Celebrities, not even the young ones, learning to balance. Even when they NBA stars or NFL stars, they go through it too. But balancing work and personal life. They probably like, shut up, Arthur TETASHERI. These people been getting caught up in, they get caught up in baby traps. Not saying that's DDG's situation, but some of them do. To them, people are always trying to get them, for their money in some type of way. As P. Diddy tried to accuse Cassie of at first. When it first came out that she filed, there was a suit filed or something like that, and she was paid to, everybody know that ain't a secret. Like, I think he wanted to settle or something. He tried to say that she was just coming for his money because it had been so long. See how you can easily just believe that? Like, man, that is a whole possibility. That's all we can do. Once again, is criticize, speculate. The victim, that's a whole nother set of shoes. That's crazy. Because it was so much money. What, 30 million or something like that? I was like, man, it was just crazy. Like, did it actually happen? Whatever she talking about, because you paid her the money. Way back then, people was already thinking it. Have you guys been following the case at all? There's been a lot going on these days. It seemed like at the time, I look more at the timing too. Because once you understand time a little better, you just naturally do that. Like, what was happening at this time? In the past, we looked at it that way. Like, what was happening at this time? No. Ask what was happening at this time. Wow. At another side of the earth, this was happening. Like, we know it could be nighttime somewhere on the side of the world versus it being the whole daytime somewhere else. It's the same thing with life. If that's true, the other part I just said is true. It's always a different time frame, literally, on the globe. Yeah, like, what's happening, I'm trying to find the words. What's happening versus at one point, put it on the same time clock. At 10:35 Wednesday, she was at the Bahamas, he was here. But what was happening, like, at both physical places at the same time? Like, that interests me about stuff. You could be somewhere celebrating, somebody else somewhere crying. Like, I know it seems basic or cliche, but it's like very real. And you can judge some things by that, and some things you just can't, because if two people is feeling two separate whole emotions at one same time, that could very well happen the next day, or how long had something like that been going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, because a divorce is a divorce. Some of these people just got babies together. It's not, or they were engaged or talked about it, or people. That was a whole thing with this couple. You know, people was like, he needs to marry her right after the baby. Or they say that ASAP Rocky needs to go ahead and marry Rihanna. You know, because they have the babies. They were saying that about Krishan Rock. You just be wanting to see them set that type of example. Knowing realistically as celebrities, some of them get married, some of them been married 5 times too. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment with You Will Make It TV. We appreciate your support, and until next time. Hey, it's boom.